All right, everyone. Hello. Sorry that you're missing class and that you have to receive this instruction by this video. I hope it kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, you can always skip ahead and move forward, repeat. Shoot me an email, research the internet, find another way to learn if this video doesn't work. Today, we're going to be talking about equivalent ratios a little bit like the last lesson, and then a special kind of an equivalent ratio called a unit rate. So we'll dive right in, and hopefully this will make sense. And if not, please let's keep the conversation going and keep trying until it does make sense. Okay, on today's equivalent ratio portion, and it's good if you can spell it right, and I hope you have better handwriting than me. But to find equivalent ratios or equivalent rates, sometimes I'll use the words in different ways. To find those equivalent ratios, take some number and you can just multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So I just pick any number. Let's say I pick 6, and you can multiply them both by 6. There's an infinite number of equivalent ratios to this. You just pick a number and multiply it, and there we go. 12 over 6 times 5 is 30. That's an equivalent ratio, an equivalent fraction. All I've really done, I've just taken 2/5 and I've just multiplied it by 1. That's just 1. And then written it down. I can multiply them both by, let's do 7. 2 times 7 and 5 times 7. And there we go. 14/35 is an equivalent ratio because I just multiplied them by the same number. Whatever fraction you have, 3/4, 1/2, 16/24. On any way, you can multiply them by any number you want, top and bottom, and get it. So let's say 3 times 8, 4 times 8. 24, 30 seconds is exactly the same thing. 1/2. This is a fairly easy one where you can probably just write out a bunch without even doing the work. But if I times it by, let's say, 18 over 18, I get 18 over 36. Now, just like you can multiply by 1 or the same number on the denominator, you can do the same thing with division. You can divide this number by 1, or just pick a number that goes into both of them and divide it by that. So you might see that 2 goes into both of them. You might have chosen 4. You might see that 8 goes into both of them. Well, I'll do 4. I'm just going to divide it by 4 over 4. Now on division, if you remember, you flip it upside down and multiply. So it's going to be the same as the multiplication. You're just dividing by 1. It's just this fraction divided by 1. 4 over 6. Just showing the reason why you can do this. For any fraction you choose, to make it an equivalent fraction, it's just a matter of multiplying or dividing by the same number. And it's just like writing them. Okay, so that's equivalent ratios. Now we're going to talk about a specific kind of an equivalent ratio. We're going to talk about what's called a unit rate. And a unit rate is simply, unit just means 1. A unit rate is simply a rate or a ratio where 1 is in the denominator. So any number can be on top. We're talking about variables now. And 1 is in the denominator. That's all a unit rate is. So if I say that I've got 16 over 4, to make a unit rate, it's just doing an equivalent fraction where the new fraction has a 1 on the bottom. You then just have to figure out the work and work it out. Well, let's see, to get from 4 to 1, we divided by 4. So you divide by the same number up here to get 4. If I want a unit rate for 25 over 5, to figure out what the new fraction is with a 1 on the bottom, it's just a matter of what do I do to this 5 to get 1? Oh, I divide by 5. And do that on both sides. So that would be 5 over 1. Now, yes, I am choosing some simple fractions. It's going to get hard eventually, but we're just showing the process that a unit rate simply means that 1 is in the denominator. It's a rate with a 1 in the denominator. Let's say I wanted to do, let's say you did 18 hours of homework in 3 days. What's the unit rate of hours per day? Well, if you wanted hours per days, then you write that fraction. You've got the 18 over 3. And then to make the unit rate, how much did you do in 1 day? You've divided by 3, so you divide the 18 by 3. Whoa! Don't write that, because 18 divided by 3 on your calculator is 6. So you're going to get some word problems. You have to just build the fraction and then turn it into a unit rate. Let's say that, what if at South Hills Middle School, there were 900 students in 60 classes? Let's say that's what was happening. How many would be in each class? Or how many would be in each class or per class? Well, you build the first equation. There's 900 students in 60 classes. How many are in one class? Well, you get from 60 to 1. You divide it by 60. So same thing up here. You take the 900 and you divide it by 60. If I was smart enough, I'd do that in my head, but I'm not. So thank goodness for calculators. 900 divided by 60. There are 15 students in each class. Well, no, that's not right. So I could have some fun with this and get the 60 to be the right number so that this would be accurate. You guys know there's more than 15 students in each of your classes. What if you got a paycheck and that paycheck you made $800 and you made that in your paycheck and you worked for that. You worked for 40 hours. How much did you make per hour? So per hour, that's per hour. That's what we're going to get to the end of. So you've got the $800 divided by the 40 hours. How do you get that to the 1 hour? Well, we divide by 40. So 800 divided by 40. You can work that on your calculator. That's $20 an hour. It's pretty good. Pretty good if you've got that. And what if we're in school? What if we're in school for 180 days? This year we're not. Let's see, it's more like 160 this year. But 180 days. The other 20 are those Fridays where we're home doing stuff at home, doing schoolwork at home. Let's say in 180 days per 9 months of school. So how many days do we do per month? How many days per month is the question? Well, 180 per 9. And the point is to get a 1 in the denominator. So to go from 9 to 1, we're just dividing by the number. Divide by the number 9. And 180 divided by 9. That means we are in school for 20 days every month. And for this year, if we did 160 days, if you're thinking of those 4-day weeks for 9 months, and if you divide the 160 by 9, I have no idea what you're going to get. 160 divided by 9 is 170. It's about 18, a little less, so it's 17 point something. 17 point something days per month. The numbers can be crazy. They're going to get crazy, but we just first of all just want to show you the concept on how the concept works with a unit rate. You can check on what the assignment is and work on that assignment. Some of these problems are pretty hard. Have your note paper out. Try to build the fraction first and then build it into the unit rate. Thanks for watching. Hope you're well, and hope that whatever reason you're home, you're able to be back with us soon. Thanks for watching, and again, skip back if you need, and research the internet more for unit rate or unit ratio to understand this concept more. Shoot me an email if you need. Thanks for watching.